Hello and welcome everyone. Today we're going to be doing a Kazuha build and showcase because of his recent, or upcoming I should say, banner rerun coming out in a couple of days, like 2 or 3 days. So I did one for Nouvellette and some people asked for Kazuha, and people are very like on the fence, if they don't have Nouvellette or Nouvellette and Kazuha, they're wondering which one to get because they're both phenomenal in their fields. Like Nouvellette's one of the best DPSs, Kazuha's one of the best supports. So it's so difficult to tell which one to get. To put it simply, if you need DPS, get Nouvellette. If you need supports, get Kazuha. Done, easy, stamped, signed, sealed. So on with our Kazuha build. We don't care about crit rate, crit damage. We care about elemental mastery, and he's got 913, and everything else doesn't really matter. For our weapon, we have the Freedom Sworn. You could alternatively run like the Iron Sting, anything with elemental mastery, because elemental mastery is for his like full support build. So we rockin' EM, and this also gives a buff of some kind. Increases his damage, but that's like irrelevant. And then there's so much like text here. At some point, it gives a buff, and that's what we're looking for. We have a 4-piece of the Viridescent set for the swirl, for the increased damage when we swirl an element, and we get we lower the enemy's defenses or whatever, and it really helps out with team builds that like really rely on like Raiden Shogun, like really relying on like electro damage. So we lower their electro resistance and then we just destroy them absolutely. And usually we try to get like EM pieces, but didn't roll into it, and I didn't put in like the effort to like get like as many EM rolls, and these have like main stat EM. If you're like really cool, you can try and get some like energy recharge. That'll really help out to like get his burst up as much as possible. Like I said, since I run him with Raiden Shogun, I don't really need to worry about energy recharge that much. C0, his constellations are pretty good. One of them gives him like 2 charges. Is it this one? Oh yeah, resets the cooldown. It could be this one. Yeah, it gives him like 2 charges of like, essentially gives him 2 charges of his elemental skill, which is really good. That like basically turns him into like a DPS. And we have 7, 10, 10. He's crowned, of course. So his skill, when you tap it, he just does like a little wind thing. He like pulls enemies in, and then you can like plunging attack and swirl some more, or you can hold it and get like a lot of like a bigger area of effect for your swirl, for your suck in pause, and you get a bigger plunging attack. And plunging attack also does animo and swirl. And his burst is like this like giant like circle, and it like sucks in enemies, and because he's animo, so he has crowd control, and it swirls and it does some extra hits every now and then, and it's pretty simple. And then his ascension talents. Alright, so this one makes his plunging attack even stronger when you swirl with his skill. So this is what helps him. It helps him get some decent damage up every now and then, which is cool. But it's not like I really care for it. Like he's a support. I don't really care for him doing insane damage or anything. So, but if you are like, this is what makes him like really cool, is that you can make him like a really good support or really good DPS, and this facilitates his DPS. Yeah, and this one's like, when you do swirl, you get an elemental damage bonus based off of elemental mastery. So you want to get as much EM as possible for the extra bonus, and yeah, decreasing stamina consumption, which is cool for your spammy dodges and whatnot. So the thing with support characters is that they're very awkward to showcase, because like they're barely there, they're barely doing anything. So like I'll do a boss fight this time, because like Like before, when I did a showcase for Kirara, I did this boss fight online with like randoms, and it was cool because, you know, she's a shield character, so it really helped out. But I tried to do it with Kazuha, and like, if people aren't running like the perfect team for Kazuha to support, then it just like doesn't work out. That's why we were doing this way. Nice, got it on the first try. If the audio sounds a little different, if the background sounds a little weird, it's because I'm not currently at home. I'm actually recording this at work. So I apologize for that, if there is any issue. I'm not really sure if there is yet.
Your verdict is decided. Without yearning, all returns to silence. This body is eternal.
Unfortunately, didn't one phaser. Now we have to deal with all this. Since this is a boss, and we can't grab her with like his skill and his burst, we don't get to see like his crowd control fully at work. But we do get to see like little like niche applications, like grabbing up these little Kirara bombs.
Witness the final calamity.
I've never actually like tried the Kazuha like DPS builds. They just seem like a lot of work to like put together. I don't like having like multiple builds for characters. I like having multiple characters to build. I feel like that's a lot more interesting. So I've never tried it, but I've seen it, and the damage output is like insane. His swirl, his reactions, like he's just such an insane character. And he came out so many years ago, and to this day, he's still absolutely wild. So we do our skill, we do our burst. I think I did that in the wrong order. And she's done. It's not even close.
Crumbles before me.
So yeah, that's gonna be it for my Kazuha build and showcase. It's really like weird to try and show off support characters. He's barely on screen. He barely did much while he was out there. So like, you know, you got to keep track of like his swirls and whatnot. So if you guys have any ideas on how I can like showcase support characters better, like a support character like Kazuha, if there's like a healing character or like a shield character, then I can showcase how good of a support they are by just keeping teammates alive. And if I go into a boss fight with three randoms, and they don't have like good supports, or they don't have like good DPS, and like, or the DPS can't stay alive, and then I go Kazuha, and then I'm like swirling for nothing sometimes because like their DPS is like a Eula or something, because they can't get it together and realize what's going on. So it gets a little awkward to try and like showcase it. Like I had a very strange like practice run. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you guys are summoning for, Kazuha or Neuvillette, because the polls are split. It's a very difficult decision right now, and with Arlecchino on the way, it's an even more difficult decision if you want to save or not. But I have a new video coming up in like a day or two. Tomorrow when it's April, I'm going to be doing the Chronicled Wish. So make sure you come in tomorrow to check that out. If you want to see this team fully in action, check out my Spiral Abyss videos. And thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and take care. Check out the next video that pops up. One last thing I forgot to mention. If you are struggling with character builds, you're struggling with playing, grinding domains, fighting bosses, fighting weekly bosses, any kind of issue you have in Genshin Impact, you can actually find me on ePal, and I'll have the link in the description, and you can hire me to personally help you and play with you, give you advice, character building, all that good stuff, and even absolutely carry you in domains and boss fights and whatnot. All that can be found in the description below. There's a link to my ePal. You can make an account, sign up, hire me there, and we can play together if that is what you need. So make sure you guys check that out in the link down below. Thank you again.